I'm Sarah Sweeney.
And I'm Jessica Andrea.
With NewsWrap, a summary of some of the news affecting LGBTQ communities around the world for the week ending August 10th, 2019. Voters in Uruguay failed to show up in sufficient numbers for a ballot-initiated rollback of transgender rights. The proposal required the support of at least 25% of all eligible voters. Less than 10% cared enough to participate on August 5th. Conservative forces were trying to overturn laws passed last year. Those laws made it easier for trans people to change the gender designation on their government documents without medical intervention. They also guaranteed access to health care, housing, and a number of other benefits. Conservative opposition Congressman Carlos Iafiliola sponsored the referendum. He claimed that the new laws would allow minors to undergo hormone treatment without parental approval. The Uruguayan Medical Union quickly rebutted that charge in a statement saying that, in no case have these interventions been practiced in children. Federico Grania is a queer activist now serving as the National Director of Sociocultural Promotion for the Uruguayan Ministry of Social Development. Grania told Reuters that the laws do allow transgender adolescents to undergo limited hormonal treatment without parental consent. That right applies especially to those who have left home, and only after a state-appointed guardian secures legal approval on the child's behalf. Grania applauded the vast majority of voters for staying away from the polls. He said that voters did not want to express support for a referendum that would take rights away. Grania thinks that it sends a message of great respect. The Uruguayan advocacy group La Trans Ya told Montevideo.com that citizens had demonstrated that human rights are not subject to plebiscite. Uruguay is considered to be one of the more queer progressive countries in South America. It's had marriage equality since 2013, and gay people can serve openly in its armed forces. However, transgender people face routine discrimination and violence. According to the Uruguayan Medical Union, trans people have a life expectancy of just 35 years.
Out-gay Republic of Ireland Prime Minister Leo Varadkar made an unannounced visit to Northern Ireland to march in Belfast's annual LGBTQ Pride Parade on August 3rd. Varadkar told the crowd, "What we see in Belfast is Northern Ireland at its very best, open, inclusive, diverse, and for everyone." It was the Prime Minister's second visit to Belfast Pride since he took office. Varadkar tweeted that he also spent some time before the march to talk about the future with Sarah Canning, the partner of murdered journalist Lyra McKee. According to Pink News, the couple was about to get engaged before McKee was shot dead at a Belfast political rally in April. The British Parliament is forcing marriage equality on Northern Ireland by January 2020 if lawmakers in the region's assembly fail to do it themselves. Northern Ireland has had an essentially dysfunctional government since 2016, when power-sharing talks broke down between the ruling Democratic Unionist Party and the leading opposition party, Sinn Féin.
Coca-Cola used to bill itself as the pause that refreshes, but the pause the soft drink is giving Hungarian MP István Boldog has done anything but. An ad campaign for the popular Coke Zero has led the ruling conservative right-wing Fidesz party member to call for a boycott of all Coca-Cola products. The Love is Love ads feature images of same-gender couples hugging and kissing, with the caption, "Zero sugar, zero prejudice." There's an online petition to support Boldog's Coke boycott and to remove the ads from the Budapest subway system. The petition has thus far gathered more than 30,000 signatures. Tomás Dombos of the queer advocacy group Hatter told a number of news outlets that the ruling party could be testing people's reaction to the pro-queer campaign. Dombos explains that the government builds all of its propaganda on conflict, and they need enemies. After the EU, migrants, NGOs, and even the homeless, now it may be LGBTQ people. A statement issued by Coca-Cola defended the ad campaign. In it, the company stressed its corporate culture of diversity, inclusion, and equality. They said, "We believe everyone has the right to love the person they choose. The campaign currently running in Hungary reflects these values." A spokesperson said that the company has not seen any significant change in Coca-Cola sales in Hungary, at least not so far. Same-gender couples were allowed to enter into less-than-marriage registered partnerships in Hungary in 2009. However, Pink News notes that a European Union agreement to prevent discrimination against LGBTQ people was blocked by Hungary in 2016.
A Sydney, Australia city councillor has been fined $2,500 for homosexual vilification by the State of New South Wales Civil and Administrative Tribunal. Julie Passos demanded that neighbour Daniel Comensoli take down the rainbow flag he was displaying following the victorious marriage equality vote in November 2017. Passos harangued Comensoli because she said the flag was offensive to my culture and religion. She shouted that the man should not be able to marry until you could breastfeed and have children. Passos was also accused of saying that the flag was as offensive as the flag of ISIS, but later called that an analogy. The tribunal heard testimony that the verbal harassment continued for several days until Comensoli called the police to file the official complaint. Passos cited local restrictions that prohibited hanging flags from balconies, but admitted that she found the flag to be personally offensive. Comensoli had sought $10,000 in damages from Passos, but was awarded only a quarter of that amount. However, the tribunal ordered Passos to issue a statement in the local newspaper describing the marriage equality vote as an historic day and apologizing for publicly yelling abuse at Mr. Comensoli. Comensoli has moved.
A far-right Christian fundamentalist in the U.S. state of Iowa has only been fined $65 for publicly burning 4 queer-supportive children's and young adult books. 63-year-old Paul Dorr of the group Rescue the Perishing had checked the books out from the Orange City Public Library. Dorr posted a video on social media in October 2018 that showed him burning the books while spewing homophobic comments. He said he was protesting a local LGBTQ pride event. Dorr was convicted this week in Sioux County District Court of 5th-degree criminal mischief. $65 was the lowest possible fine for the offense. The state of Iowa had sought the maximum penalty of $625. Dorr was also ordered to pay a 35% surcharge and court costs. In his defense, Dorr told the court that he wanted to protect the children of Orange City from being seduced into a life of sin and misery. Rita Bettis Austin of the ACLU of Iowa said this was about the destruction of library property, not free speech. Austin said, "Burning public library books is the destruction of ideas, and that's reprehensible. No one person or even group should decide that they are the gatekeepers of ideas for the rest of the public." In the weeks following Dorr's book-burning video, the Orange City Public Library received more than $3,700 in cash donations and almost 1,000 book donations, including replacements for the 4 titles Dorr had burned. The library kept about 50 of those books and sold or returned the others.
What causes massacres like the recent mass shootings in Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas? An Ohio state lawmaker whose district is near Dayton has topped the incredulity charts with her theories. Republican State Representative Candace Keller's now-deleted Facebook diatribe blamed such violence on the breakdown of the traditional American family, transgender homosexual marriage, and drag queen advocates. Keller also blamed violent video games, recreational marijuana use, former President Barack Obama, and open borders. Snowflakes who do not respect President Trump were on Keller's guilty list too. Keller has so far resisted calls to resign, including one from Ohio Republican Party Chair Jane Timken. Keller has already survived equating Planned Parenthood to Nazis and promoting white supremacist views on a radio show as she defended a proposed ban on sanctuary cities. Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley said on Twitter that she doesn't often agree with Republican State Chair Timken, but joined the resignation chorus. Whaley added that no matter where you're from, who you love, or what you look like, you're welcome in Dayton.
And finally, blatantly anti-queer U.S. Vice President Mike Pence and his family are well known for hiding behind their religious convictions to support discrimination against LGBTQ people. Mr. Pence made the rounds of right-wing hate groups in early August to support his personal bias. One event he attended was an Atlanta, Georgia conference organized by conservative evangelical blogger and radio host Eric Erickson. Another event was sponsored by the Alliance Defending Freedom, a far-right so-called Christian organization that fights LGBTQ and women's rights in the courts. The vice president urged that gathering to spend more time on your knees than on the internet. We're pretty sure Pence meant on your knees in prayer, but unfortunately, on your knees is a long-standing gay euphemism for oral sex. Needless to say, Twitter lit up with comments about Pence's cluelessness.
That's NewsWrap, global queer news with attitude, for the week ending August 10th, 2019. Follow the news in your area and around the world. An informed community is a strong community.
NewsWrap is written by Greg Gordon, edited by Lucia Chappelle, produced by Brian DeShazer, recorded at the studios of KPFK Los Angeles, and brought to you by you.
Help keep us in ears around the world at thiswayout.org, where you can also read the text of this newscast and much more.
And you can listen to NewsWrap each week by subscribing to our This Way Out radio YouTube channel. For This Way Out, I'm Sarah Sweeney.
And I'm Jessica Andrea.